I hate to get bold here. This is going to be a very, very controversial statement. Might be the most controversial statement you will ever find on this channel, and it relates to Jurassic Park. Dinosaurs are cool. I don't think anyone else has ever thought that way about dinosaurs, but I think they're pretty cool. I don't know, they're just giant reptilians. Very interesting looking reptilians. But Mr. T, they're birds. Yeah, I know. But I mean, come on. This one's a reptile. If that's a reptile, that's a reptile. Nothing much else to say about that. So I saw something. The Hammond collection, which is made by Mattel, who I don't really get Mattel stuff. It's all Hasbro for me, which is, yeah, I guess you could call me a fanboy. I don't know. I just never got Mattel stuff, but they own DC and Jurassic Park, and I kind of slept on them for a little bit because they've been putting out some good stuff. And the Hammond collection, seeing what they got, I'm like, well, do I want anything dinosaur related? I'm not the dinosaur guy in my family, but I do still like them. I definitely really like the Jurassic Park movies, including Dominion, which everyone thought was terrible. I thought was fine. And I saw one dinosaur that they have been doing, and it is my second favorite dinosaur ever, and that is the Dilophosaurus. So I was like, oh, you know what would be a really interesting video? I do a comparison between my childhood Dilophosaurus toy and compare it to the new one, see how it holds up. So that's what we're going to do today. Here is Jurassic Park 3, which in my opinion is the best Jurassic Park toy line. For the same reasons that Power of the Force 2 is the best Star Wars toy line. It's not actually the best in terms of like articulation scale. But I mean, they're just big, solid, nice figures. Like you can get a Velociraptor, a Dilophosaurus, a T-Rex, a Triceratops, a Brachiosaur, and they're all in the same scale. They all relatively feel good. They're all nice and articulated. They're nice, simple, they're effective. What more do you want? I will say, this isn't my childhood toy. I mean, I did experience it as a kid, but number one, obviously this isn't mine. I bought it just for this review. And number two, it was my older brother's, but I thought this guy was really neat. And as such, he's always been one of my favorites. When Hammond Collection makes my actual favorite dinosaur, I'll do a big video on them because I love that dinosaur. And I do have a couple of things to say about it, but I don't know. The Jurassic Park Dilophosaurus has always been one of the most interesting dinosaurs ever made, and there's a reason why it's stuck around despite not being a Velociraptor or a T-Rex, you know? I know this is fake, they don't have this, they don't spit venom, but I mean, it's a movie. And real Dilophosaurus are still cool anyway. So what are you mad about? I don't know. I just find it kind of annoying that people whine about Jurassic Park because it's not accurate. The dinosaurs don't look like that. Yeah, they're still big, scary monsters. But I'm going to whine about accuracy even though we still technically don't know what it actually looks like and we could be wrong. When in reality, there is something you could complain about, and that is they make it so every carnivore is a scary monster that is out to eat humans, whereas every herbivore just is a nice big dog. Where in reality, I'd be way more scared of a Triceratops if it was real than a T-Rex, because you know that thing has PTSD of being attacked by T-Rex and will attack literally everything. And that thing is a rhinoceros with rhinoceros intelligence, but at the size of a hippo. I mean, an elephant, sorry. I messed it up. But yeah, I don't really mind the inaccuracies in the Jurassic Park movies. It's a minor qualm. And, you know, it just makes the Dilophosaurus cool. As long as you know that this is not what it looks like, I think it's fine, you know? Anyways, let's talk about this figure. So, it's just a big, nice representation of the dinosaur. And this is why I'm saying I think that it's very kept in the spirit of, like, the first and second toy line. The reason I say those aren't as good is because I didn't grow up with them. I mean, this one is a better compromise when it comes to sculpt, but still the old school charm, you know? Kind of the same way with Power of the Force, too, where I didn't grow up with that one. I mean, I did grow up with that one and not the Kenner, so I think it's better. I mean, obviously, it's got better sculpt, but still feels as, you know, simple and easy to collect. And that's this thing. These things, like I said, they're a decent scale, but also they're cheap. I got this thing for like $15, despite being made in 2000. Yet people still want to sell a figure in Transformers that just got off the market and stopped being produced and be like, oh, late tax, late tax. Shh. Speaking of Hasbro, this is actually made by Hasbro. 2000. Interesting. Yeah, it's got very basic articulation, just legs, arms, nothing in the head. I mean, I guess you could move that, but that's about it. I do like the colors on this guy. The colors look really good. I remember, I don't like the Lego Jurassic Park game because it's less of a Lego dinosaur game and more of just playing as humans, and occasionally you get to play as the dinosaurs, which, I don't know. Maybe they should remake it because you can literally, there's a T-Rex, just straight up T-Rex in like one of the newer Marvel games. So maybe remake it with all the movies and you can play as the dinosaurs anytime. I don't know. But yeah, I do like how you can change the colors of the dinosaurs that you have. And I made the Dilophosaurus look like this because, you know, the Dilophosaurus, I actually like the Lego Dilophosaurus. It's a very nice figure. This is not a real Dilophosaurus. This is a bootleg. Not the one from my Lego Jurassic World bootleg video that I made like back in 2017 or 18, where I was trying way too hard to be like Ashens. No, this is a recent one because I got another set, and I did record a video on it. I never edited it because it was like 50 minutes long. But, you know, this is still a pretty good figure, but I do wish that it had this guy's colors. Even with like the Jurassic Park sets instead of the Jurassic World ones, the colors still kind of don't feel like this. So, but this is still a very nice figure. It even has more articulation, you know, head and jaw. That's kind of cool. Oh, and also, of course, it's got the gimmicks. Now, this one doesn't have any electronics. You can do that. Cool. I think it came with, like, noises, and you can press the button. Of course, we have to talk about, first off, it's got the logo that tells you, oh, this is the movie that came out. Yep, right there. JP3. Get it? Because it's got the claws, because they got 3 fingers. But it's got the exposed rib cage. I mean, this is something that I never really thought about, but, like, in hindsight, damn, that's insane. So yeah, just a very nice, simple figure. I think when I'm done with this review, I'm going to give it to, like, my niece, and she can just have a cool dinosaur. Anyways, that's that figure. Very cool. Very good. And here's the new one, the Hammond collection. I wanted to show off how far we've come and how the old one's cool, and I love it, but it's a little bit outdated, and this new one is so much better in every single way, but, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, this isn't bad. It's not bad. It's very nice, but I do think it could have been a little better, mostly in terms of articulation. In terms of colors, I'm kind of disappointed with it. I mean, I know it's trying to be a little bit more accurate, but I feel like they could have had this kind of green. Can we put them on the same so it's not out of scale? Oh, I can. Okay, yeah. This guy's green. This guy's color palette. I wish this guy could have had, maybe instead of black, it could have had white. That's just a personal thing. Maybe they might come out with a repaint that makes it look like this guy. I don't know. It just kind of makes him look a little bit more bland. I don't know how a dinosaur that could look like this could be considered bland, but that's how it is. We'll say the details are fantastic. I mean, you can just pick it up. There's so much little details that go into it. And man, that's impressive. And the frill looks really nice. And one thing that I love about this new one is that you can actually take it off by warping it pretty easily. And there you go. This one, I saw it with it off. You cannot do it. You can rotate it, but that might rub the paint off. So I don't recommend doing that. This guy does not want to stand up, it seems. Okay, just do that. I will say one major flaw is the accessory this guy comes with. It's, you know, the neck flap when it's not, the frill's not out, but it just kind of looks awkward. I mean, you tell me, is that really worth it? I mean, I guess it's a nice idea and all, but it just doesn't work. They even made the giant, like, neck piece U so that you could still move the head, but it just doesn't. Not a very good idea. It honestly just looks better with it off. So just put that in like a, I don't know, plastic baggie or something. You don't really need it. I know most people will want to have the frill on, but it is nice that you can have it off. It still looks pretty good. With it off, that's actually a pretty accurate Dilophosaurus. I mean, yeah, it is a little small, but I mean, it's the one from the movie, which you could probably say is a baby. I thought that's what it was supposed to be. No, it turns out they're all very small in the movies because there are a lot of them in the new one, Dominion. And while it did look very nice, looked very cool, the animatronics looked amazing, they were all small. So I don't know why they did that. Why it's nice is you can actually get the frill up to the head, which, you know, is a bit better, I guess. A bit more fun. So, yeah, updated sculpt's really nice, and I love the fact that you can remove the frill. Now, how's the articulation? Well, it's kind of disappointing. I thought the whole point of this was nice, articulated, well-made versions of them. I mean, they're called the Hammond collection, something pretentious like that, like the Black Series or RED, you know. But it just doesn't. So let's go over the articulation. You can move the mouth. That's pretty good. Head goes on a swivel, which is nice, and it can go down that far, which looks bad, and up that far. Kind of limited, but then you also get a swivel at the base of the neck and a nice joint. So it looks a little, again, it looks a little awkward, but ooh, that looks. Oh, that's why. Okay. Yeah, don't move it too far down. That is gross. I mean, could you have made that fade a little bit? I know it's a joint, but still. Yeah. Okay. The head's actually not too bad, but it's the limbs where it gets a little disappointing. First off, the arms. They're actually quite nice. The shoulders themselves, they can go back, forth. They can go out pretty good. That's nice. And I freaked out when I saw this, because I'm like, is that a swivel elbow? You know, like the old Hasbro Revenge of the Sith toys? No, it's just a very sensitive feeling, very flimsy elbow bend. Ugh, don't like that. Don't like that. And nothing at the hand. You know, I thought the whole point of like a nice elbow bend was you can like also move the wrist to change position, but nope. Maybe like a little swivel, maybe like a little bend. I know it's kind of soft plastic and very tiny, so I didn't want it to be too fragile, but I mean, come on. Ugh. Ew. The most disappointing part are the legs. The legs have less range than the old one. Okay, never mind. Okay, maybe not. Oh, maybe not. Okay, they don't have worse range. Yeah, they go around pretty fine. I thought they stopped. But God, what is that? That's as far out as it goes, and that's as far in. Like, you really couldn't find a way to just make a cut and a joint? Oh, Mr. T, that would have made it look ugly. I do not care. It already looks ugly. At least when it comes to the joints. This is the Hammond collection. Why did they do that? I mean, even the fucking Kingdom Megatron has a better spread in his dino mode. Have you seen, that thing transforms. Disappointing. He does have a very decent knee bend, I guess. Can't go straight. And I know dinosaurs have the whole digitigrade legs thing. I wish this could hinge too. I mean, it is very nicely sculpted, I'll give you that. Couldn't make it like bend at least a little bit? Just a little is all I'm asking, so you can get it either looking straight up or crouched down. Crouch down! Ooh. Okay. And then his ankles are really good. They can go back and forth. And look at this pivot. Why? You may sound weird that I'm complaining about an ankle pivot, but like, why would you give him such a great ankle pivot when his legs can't move? This is still the flattest his feet can be, with both feet flat on the floor. So there's no point. There's no point. If his legs can spread out, that would be good. But nope. And you know what? I would have rather just had ankle swivels, which maybe that's kind of what these are. No, those are not ankle swivels. Those are not ankle swivels. I would have preferred some ankle swivels, you know? Fortunately, the tail is pretty good. It has this pretty ugly joint. But, you know, I don't mind. I don't know why I said it so weird. But you can bend the tail. I think it's a bendy tail. Yep. Yeah, that's a bendy tail. So you can get some nice natural curves with that. I don't know why many people like freak out. Oh, the tail needs to be really natural when most of the limbs don't look natural. I guess it's because we're used to like tails that don't move. I don't know. But anyways, you can actually see. Focus. What the? There you go. You can find. Yeah, you see those little circles right there. Can you see the circles right there? Yeah, circles. Those are like, you know, those old like rubber pipe cleaner bendy figures. They have the little holes. Yeah, they just filled them in, which is nice. But I don't really mind them. It just tells you, hey, you can bend this to your heart's content. Maybe that's just a new thing. Supposability for Hammond figures just really unfortunate. I mean, I guess you can get, okay, you can, you know what? All right, you know what? Okay, you know what? You can have them like the old, okay, you know what? Articulation is perfect. It's flawless. Never mind. You can have them do the old kangaroo stance back in like the 1920s. So that's cool. I do wish that there was just a couple more joints, just a little bit more. Maybe make this guy a little bigger. I wouldn't have minded. I don't mind my dinosaurs being out of scale. They're dinosaurs, you know. You know, like Brachiosaur is the same scale as a Velociraptor. I don't mind. I think that's cool. I mean, most of my experience with this kind of stuff is origami. Those are out of scale. Origami dinosaurs are always out of scale. But yeah, that's a Dilophosaurus. Overall, I know I probably complained about it, and a lot of people have complained about this. Apparently, there's like another, like a, what was it called? Amber collection? Yeah, I think it's an Amber collection, which are fucking expensive. But do keep in mind, this guy's only $15. 15! And he's well articulated, but could be better. He's insanely well sculpted. His paint is pretty good. It's still a very nice Dilophosaurus. Which one's better? I mean, this one's better. I mean, it has to be. But I still really like the old one. Is it nostalgia? Yeah, you're right. But, I don't know, the dynamic colors and sculpt does make it look a little bit more charming. It's a great toy to give to your kid, you know. Whereas this one, it's kind of in the middle. It's like, okay, all right, listen. We're going to compare and talk about Pokemon. No, don't talk about this guy. Don't talk about... Yes, we're talking about this guy. So let's talk about Smogon, even though I don't play competitive because I'm not what was her name? Karen was fucking on her bullshit about best trainers using their favorites because I do that. It doesn't work. Anyways... Alright, so this is a never-used Pokemon. It's all the way down in the lower tiers. But what it does in the tiers, it is a monster. So, despite being a lower-tier Pokemon, it's a very effective lower-tier Pokemon. Whereas this is an underused borderline. Where it is technically better, but it doesn't get used because it's not as good for kids. I mean, it works, but then this is still better. And it's not like a high-end quality figure. Like that guy. Like that guy. Focus on... Yeah, there you go. So, it does have that problem going for it. But still, for $15, it's a nice figure. I don't know what I'm going to do after. I just thought it was going to be a good idea for a video. And I guess it was. You know, something different, something new. Dilophosaurus, old versus new. Which one's better, which one's worse? I don't fucking know. I didn't graduate from college.
Me fucking heart stop!